Okay, let's dive into this. We use language all day, every single day, and we barely even think about it, right? But underneath every single conversation, there's this hidden set of rules that makes it all click. So today, we're going to pull back that curtain and take a look at those rules. We're talking about grammar.
So to get what I'm talking about, picture this. You're on a soccer field. You're all geared up for a match. But instead of a soccer ball, someone just rolls out a giant watermelon. I mean, what would you even do? You can't really play with that, can you? It'd be an absolute mess, total chaos, and it just completely breaks the rules of the game.
Well, believe it or not, that's kind of how our language works. Words have their own rules of the game that stop everything from turning into chaos and, actually help us understand each other. And we call that set of rules grammar. All right, so where do we even start? Let's begin with the absolute basics, the containers we use to pack our ideas in. We call them sentences. And here's the wild part. It turns out that every single thought we have, whether it's a simple question or some big complex statement, fits neatly into one of just 4 basic types.
Yep, that's it. Just 4. It seems crazy, but it's true. It's a really simple framework that pretty much covers every single way we can put a thought together. So let's break them down, one by one. First up, we've got the interrogative sentence. Its whole job, its entire purpose in life, is just to ask a question. And because of that, it's always going to end with a question mark. Simple things like, what time is it? Or did you see that? Okay, next up is the exclamatory sentence. This is your drama queen sentence. It's all about showing strong emotion. We're talking excitement, surprise, anger, you name it. And it always packs a punch with an exclamation point at the end. Like, if you're super passionate about carrots, you might shout, "These carrots are amazing!"
All right, third on our list is the declarative sentence. Now, this one is the absolute workhorse of our language. It's the one we use most of the time. It just declares something. It states a fact or an opinion, plain and simple, and it ends with a period. Something like, carrots are a source of vitamin A.
And finally, number 4, the imperative sentence. This is the bossy one. It gives a command or a direction. You can end it with a period if it's just a calm instruction, or an exclamation point if you really mean business. So you could say, pass the carrots, or eat your vegetables.
Okay, so those are the 4 types of sentences, the 4 legal moves, if we're sticking with our game analogy. But what happens when sentences break? Because knowing the rules is one thing, right? But being able to spot the errors and fix them, that's where you really start to level up your game.
And here it is, the big one, the most fundamental rule of all. Every single complete sentence has to have 2 things. This is non-negotiable. You need a subject, that's the who or what the sentence is about, and you need a verb, that's the action part.
So when sentences go wrong, it's usually in one of 2 ways. Think of it like this. On one side, you've got sentence fragments. That's when there's not enough information. A key piece is missing. And on the other side, you've got run-on sentences. That's when there's way too much stuff crammed in there, just one idea running into the next.
Let's look at a fragment first. So imagine you just see the words ran to school. Okay, we've got an action, right? Ran. But who? Who ran to school? See? Without that who, the subject, it's just an incomplete thought hanging in the air. But the fix is super easy. All we have to do is add that missing piece, the subject. We just pop he at the beginning and boom. He ran to school. Now it's a complete sentence, and it makes perfect sense. Problem solved. All right, now for the totally opposite problem, the run-on. Check this one out. Rover ate the food, he likes chicken. It just kind of keeps going, doesn't it? This sentence is trying to do too much at once. You've actually got 2 totally separate ideas here. One is Rover ate the food, and the other is he likes chicken. They're just smashed together without any kind of break. And guess what? The fix here is just as easy. You just have to give these ideas some breathing room. Split them up. Rover ate the food, period. End of thought. He likes chicken, period. Second thought. See? Now we have 2 perfectly clear, totally correct sentences. Okay, so we've looked at the big picture, the sentences. Now let's zoom in a little. If you think of sentences as the houses, then words are the bricks you build them with. And we're going to start with one of the most important bricks in the whole box. Nouns.
So what exactly is a noun? Super simple. It's a naming word. That's it. It just names, well, anything. It could be a person, like a doctor, a place, like a bookstore, or a thing you can touch, like a desk.
But here's the cool part. It can also be an idea, something you can't touch, like justice or happiness.
Now, nouns basically come in two flavors. You've got your common nouns. These are the general everyday names for things, words like dog, city, park. And then you have proper nouns. These are the specific, official names for those things, like Fido or Denver or Smithfield Park.
And if there's one giant flashing light rule to remember, it's this. Proper nouns always start with a capital letter. Always. That capital letter is like a little signal that tells your brain, hey, we're not just talking about any old park here, we're talking about Smithfield Park specifically.
All right, so if nouns are the who or the what in a sentence, then verbs are the what's happening. They are the action words. They're literally the engine of the sentence that makes everything go.
The kind of verb we see most often is an action verb, and it does exactly what it sounds like. It tells you what the noun is physically doing. A teacher teaches. An athlete runs. A fish swims. It's all about action, action, action.
But verbs can be team players too. They don't always work alone. Sometimes they get a little sidekick called a helping verb, and its job is to help clarify when the action is happening. So look at this. The seagull is flying. The main action is flying, right? But that little word is helps us out. It tells us it's happening right now. Other common helpers are words like was, will, or has.
So there you have it. That's the basic grammar toolkit. 4 types of sentences, the key parts they need to work, and the nouns and verbs that are the building blocks for everything. Now that you kind of know the secret rules of the game, the real question is, what patterns are you going to start noticing in the language you see and hear every single day?